big thing you need to be able to do, use the term prompt, right? You can learn to ask good questions. I mean, that is the answers in life and out of your AI are as good as the questions that you ask. And that's a skill that needs to be developed. How do you ask the right questions? Who else would like to, John?
So I think it's also important to think of the graduate students as part of the workforce. We have with our program about 40 MDs, PhDs, MD, PhDs, and about 6 of those are postdocs. And PhDs come in and we work with them and everything. They're essential to getting our work done. They're essential to working together and coming up with new
This
ideas.
devil
I was telling Ollie earlier, they
want
keep
people
you on
chipped.
your toes. They're very smart, and things that I may have done 10 years ago, they remind me that was 10 years ago. And so it's important to include them into the equation.
We all know they all do.
Use a distributed approach to do that.
He outwitted loud.
Cincinnati. And so we have a strategic partnership with Oak Ridge National Lab.
He down there chipping them kids.
Advanced computers to run our models, and the models are 10, and so there's 10 plus 18 zeros in order to compute that combinatorially. And on your on the exascale computers at Oak Ridge, a $600 million computer that we paid for as taxpayers, that could be done in a second. And so in that 1 second, we can then push, we now have the opportunity to push this out on clinicians' desktop. But the coding on those, the work on those is predominantly done by postdocs and doctoral students and everything, because they grew up doing that. So don't underestimate the value of these students and putting them early into your lab. Or even to your business.
Oh, slip of the tongue, huh? Putting them into your lab, right?
10 years versus
Devil ass.
Yeah, that's faster.
Yeah.
Put your ass in the captivity off. What?
And because you can do that, you can take your trained models.
All 5 of you.
All over the country, or we plan on pushing them out globally. You can take them instantaneously and put them on.
We would call that an efficiency gain.
Yes.
Yeah, slip of the tongue. Putting them in your lab.
Yeah. Back now, almost 20 years ago, I was the founder of a concept called the flipped classroom.
Your great ass.
Taking the technology to sort of take the rote work of the classroom, put it out of the classroom, spend time in the classroom, actually doing the thinking, the hard part. And I think in the end, particularly in higher ed, I'm part of an early stage ed tech startup right now exploring this. We need to think about AI as a co-pilot. I think we're going to hear that phrase co-pilot more and more and more, that it's this beside you, and that even that prompt engineering kind of becomes a two-way conversation with the AI, where you're nudging it and it's nudging you and you're nudging it, so that you're able to do what you do better. And I like the co-pilot analogy, because if you think about like the complexity of flying some of like the military aircraft today, no human being could really make all those decisions quickly, but at the end of the day, the ones they need to make are the ones that you put in the hands of the pilot of these complicated jets. And it's the same thing in higher education, that there are things that we need the faculty, the things that we need a K through 12 teacher to be there for, who understand the intuition of, Jane is a very visual thinker. We really need, if we're going to have an AI tutor work with Jane, I can prompt that AI to say, hey, why don't you start doing more visual concepts and analogies for Jane, right? And that's the co-pilot relationship that I have with that AI. And so it is not a replacement as much as an enhancement. And I know that's a theme we've heard over and over again here today, but that's, I think, the real power of any tool, right? Like, if you look at the history of technology transfer and technology and innovation, it's always about a tool that levers us to be better at what we do. And that co-pilot notion in higher education and K through 12, I think is where we're going to see ed tech and AI make the biggest difference.
Revelation 16. Chapter 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Bakahakwadash, Call Halayim La, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Bakahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and great millstone. Peace and salutations to the four corners of the earth for the elect, chosen children of Israel. And to you I say Shalom, to Ha'akim and Wa'akwa, and all you who is young and new into the faith of this truth. You had to come outside because when I was reading that precept, I was facing the west. I realized right before I had to, my praises, I was facing the wrong direction. That's why I'm out here. That what you saw, man, was a slip of the tongue from them devils. A live slip of the tongue. They want the kids in the labs, man. Yeah. That proud bastard, I personally, asked for all 5 of them to be slaves in the kingdom, It's amazing. And that interview was from the 1st of August. Yeah. So, but these days, it really doesn't matter if it was in March of this year or 10 years ago. The fact is, it's the agenda, the agenda of these jive turkeys, man. And I got a nephew that worked for their company. Now I told him, you know what it is. He had the warning. Told him not to take, not to do that there, y'all know what I mean. And how they shrug their shoulders like it ain't no big deal, that kind of thing. But I made sure that he heard me, because you take that damn thing, I'm disowning your ass, my words. And you should be able to disown anybody, that's going to go that wrong direction anyway, especially when they know, they're going to try to do things on their own. Now here it is, trying to make sure you have this correct map, your batteries have been charged up. But the batteries we have, we don't need no batteries with the light we got. I'm talking to those who out there trying to do their own thing, right? The truth is being spoken to the four corners of the earth, yet they're doing their own thing, all right? I ain't gonna name no names, Look, you either gonna have the oil or you won't, all right? I'm not gonna turn this into too long of a certain rant because I wanted to do that precept, followed by a breakdown. I have to go back and check with the apostles. That's why I'm not doing much of a breakdown, but it's more off of how I'm feeling and what I just saw on the TV. I matched that scripture to that. So it's just something quick through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, I say Shalom.